What's happening, guys? This is RRPG here, and I'm here to present another 2 cents video on the 2 cents block to you all. I've decided for this video that we're going to retrace back to something a bit scary, just to intensify the atmosphere that is in relation to the topic. But don't worry if it is anything bad, as the news actually comes off to be very promising to me, and so many fans who have been begging for this to come true. As you all know, I am a big fan of the Resident Evil franchise since the days when Shinji Mikami was still with Capcom, as his flagship series he created for the company deserved great recognition toward the gaming industry and the community altogether. After Mikami-sama's departure along with those from Clover Studio, the Resident Evil franchise started down this path toward mixed results, with Resident Evil 5 being a mixed bag, Revelations 1 and 2 being loved for its return to form in some way, and with RE6 being a miserable pile of secrets that no one wishes for it to exist in the main canon. After some mixed and negative results with their most recent outings, Capcom's recent financial status made them take the initiative to remaster some of their back catalog of games for modern gaming consoles such as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One when it came to DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, Resident Evil HD Remaster, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and the upcoming Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. Other contributing factors such as Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate's success were also accounted for, but the recent high sales and positive reception of the Resident Evil HD Remaster has Capcom about to do what I thought they would never do for almost 20 years. You want to know what it is? Well, here's this recent Facebook post from Capcom producer Yoshiaki Hirabayashi, as he thanked everyone for the strong sales and reception of the HD Remaster and tells us plans of what we think about a specific remake we wanted all this time. Hello Resident Evil fans, this is Capcom R&D Division 1. First off, we would like to express our deepest appreciation to all Resident Evil fans for your passion, enthusiasm, and continued support for the Resident Evil brand. Enthusiasm for a Resident Evil 2 remake is something we've been hearing from you over the years, and has drawn some recent attention in the media. However, as the team owns the RE brand, we're not certain how we feel about this approach, and we would like to ask for your honest and frank opinion about the Resident Evil 2 remake and what the brand identity is supposed to be about. After that, a couple more posts on Facebook showed Capcom thanking the fans for their answers and are excited to be ready to work on something that we have waited for in quite a long time. And they even posted a picture with confidential documents of what they plan to do for this remake. As you can tell, the picture just shows the name of the game along with the silhouette of the Raccoon City Police Department. Other than that, nothing else has been seen aside from that. However, the main point is that Capcom may be gearing up to finally remake my favorite entry in the original trilogy of Resident Evil games that were on the PlayStation for this new generation, and I am very excited for it in full force. Want to know why? Many reasons, really. For starters, Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation was the very first Resident Evil game that I have ever played, and the world that takes place during the main series really grasped me into the battles that Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield go through in the plot. Just the fact that you can play as two characters with different scenarios and paths based on who you played first was one of the biggest innovations I have seen in a video game that was the first to establish a story-driven nature that would carry on for the rest of the main series. There has been this debate amongst fans where they ask themselves what is their favorite in the original trilogy, with many enjoying the first one because of its more puzzle-driven gameplay, and most others really adoring the third one because of it being more focused on action. But I always say Resident Evil 2 being the game that had an equal balance between both gameplay elements, as it is the one that would try to appeal to both sides. If you want to be more analytical towards this, then I would say that Resident Evil 1 is more like The Legend of Zelda, Resident Evil 3 being more like Super Mario Bros., and Resident Evil 2 being more like Metroid in that vein, if you know what I mean. Because of how well made and a masterpiece that Resident Evil 2 really is, it made me explore more of the series with playing through the first game and loving it for what it did, as well as the third game which really scared the crap out of me because of Nemesis playing the archetype of a slasher movie villain. Code Veronica is probably my second favorite, because of how it went a step up with the deliverance of the story and being one of the strongest in the series that many people seem to overlook. And then I went to the GameCube for Resident Evil REmake, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 4, and they were all fantastic. I don't care about what those who don't like Resident Evil 4 have to say, as that game still holds up very well for me and a lot of others. As I said, after that, the series really died for me based on the questionable and unethical decisions that Capcom ended up taking with the series' future, which made me question the decisions that they were making, such as sloppy characters, very cliched plots, more action-oriented approach to newer games, and so on. It seems that now Capcom is finally realizing the mistake of what they made with trying to streamline their series, and are possibly planning to go back to the series with its main roots for the future. Since it is more and more likely that a Resident Evil 2 remake is bound to happen, here are some things I believe they need to do in order to make it a fresh experience for not only newer gamers, but for older fans who really hold that game close to their heart. One of the things that made me enjoy the Resident Evil remake over the original was that it went back for that story-driven nature of the installments of Resident Evil 2 up until Code Veronica, and they fine-tuned the script and the lore so that it felt like it was tied into the elements that the universe of Resident Evil is based on. For instance, the remake gave off hints of characters, monsters, and other certain elements that would carry on in future installments, like William Birkin and Alexia Ashford being mentioned as martyrs toward the events of RE2 and Code Veronica. Even the characters were better developed with their personalities, such as Wesker, as he truly felt like he was a villain with purpose instead of abiding by the rules of Umbrella, which he was against in Code Veronica. When it comes to the Resident Evil 2 remake, I think most of what they already established should remain intact, but newer scenarios that take place in the game, such as when Chris and Jill dealt with Lisa Trevor in the Resident Evil remake, can help benefit the RE2 remake in a newer light. For instance, maybe there should be some newer areas not seen in the original game to make its way into the remake that has a big significance in the story. Maybe one of the things that Capcom can do is reincorporate some of the elements they totally disregarded in Resident Evil 1.5 into the Resident Evil 2 remake, as I thought the location of what the Raccoon City Police Department was in 1.5 was a great place for fighting against the undead. Or even have a bonus scenario where the axed character named Elza Walker helps you move forward before meeting her unfortunate demise. That would be cool, as you could potentially reintroduce and revamp the character to fit into the remake. That definitely would be brilliant. As for gameplay, the tradition of tank control should be present, as well as items and weapons that are already there. But there needs to be more than what we see, like the defense weapons that you could use if you were attacked by a zombie or whatnot. Newer puzzles should be incorporated, like that whole thing with the masks in the Spencer Mansion in the remake, which you needed the umbrella emblem to go into the gardens, from that Crimson Head coffin where you had to fight that zombie afterwards. When it comes to the characters, I truly believe that the likes of both Paul Mercier and Allison Court reprising their roles as Leon and Claire should be a must. But that is probably not going to happen, as Capcom has an already established voice cast for those two after RE6 and Revelations 2. Those are all a few examples of what Capcom should do for the remake, and if they take some of those ideas, if not all of them, and implement them into the game, then I think the game can meet the same critical and commercial success that they made with the original game from 1998, as well as the critical success of the Resident Evil remake in 2002. Capcom, I hope you don't let down the fans and don't let down the industry with this remake, as so many people are looking at you with high hopes that you don't screw this up. Don't try to go in the same direction as Resident Evil 6 or the Revelation games, as a remake like this should pay full respect to the original in full capacity. There are things that can be improved and used for a remake in today's gaming, but don't let us down as we expect great results. If the Resident Evil 2 remake becomes a reality and ends up being a success, then I think it is high time to see a full-fledged remake of both Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and Resident Evil Code Veronica X after that, as those games need a facelift too. Don't backpedal and make everyone mad, Capcom. You are in a sticky situation with your financial woes and interesting directions for this franchise, so if you want to do things right to get you back on track, then this is your one-way ticket, as this will truly help you on the road to recovery. Don't let us down, Capcom. I have faith in you that you will survive. Alright guys, that is all with my 2 cents video on this, so I want to hear your own in the comments. Are you excited to hear that Capcom is almost ready to work on a Resident Evil 2 remake, or are you not? If you are, then what are some of the things you would like to see changed or brought about that would add to the overall experience? Make sure to rate this video as well as leaving your positive and negative feedback down in the comments. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button underneath that video, as more support from you guys will mean that more content is coming from me in the future that you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, this is RRPG signing off by saying Godspeed and game on, gamers. Have a good one.